Alright, so we're here at the Sakaerat Environmental Research Station here in northeastern Thailand, Nakhon Ratchasima province. And we're just going to be out herping and try to find some cool stuff. And I'll try to find some cool snakes primarily is my focus. So I've also got a little bit of footage that I'll throw in that I've already taken from here, and even one clip that I've taken from southern Thailand in Krabi province. So hopefully I'll have many more videos to come, including just more herps of Thailand, as well as other herping videos from other parts of Asia that I get to travel to in the near future. So keep your eyes peeled and we'll get started, and let's go herping. Alright, so here we found a Thais koros while out here looking for snakes. Really cool for me, since this is a species that I've worked with in captivity a little bit. I was really excited to finally get a chance to take some pictures of one of these. I think this is the 4th or 5th individual that someone has captured, at least during my duration here in Thailand so far. But very cool. It's a very fast-moving racer-like snake. Often seen in the trees, so they're quite arboreal. This one was found while he was just probably sleeping up above us in this bamboo that's right behind. So we're about to just do the release. This is kind of an agriculture area. We're near some klongs and some agricultural ponds and rice paddies. Pretty cool stuff. We've seen some other cool snakes tonight. I'll post pictures as well, so we'll just let this guy go. It's the Indo-Chinese rat snake. There he goes up.
Is he climbing?
Yeah, he's climbing.
Nice. I don't really have enough light. Oh, there he is. Right back where we found him.
So here's a really cool species found here at the research station, right in the middle of some of the buildings. This is a common mock viper, Samodynastes pulverulentus. And as you can see, it definitely looks like a viper. An interesting publication that actually came out of the research station recently illustrates that when they feel threatened, when they're defensive, their pupils go from round to elliptical, making it look more like a viper. As you can see, he just did recently. His eyes are pretty viper-like. And he definitely resembles a Malayan pit viper. This is really cool. They're a terrestrial species, but they're commonly found in low shrubbery. So far, most of the individuals I've seen have been found in low shrubs, just I don't know, a couple inches off the ground. Really cool guy. It is a harmless species, even though it looks like a viper. There's a better look. See, his pupil is now kind of round. Really cool. Alright, we'll let him be on his way. Here we have a juvenile green keelback. This is Rhabdophis nigrocinctus. Really pretty species. This is the first time I've ever found one, and he was actually found about 2 meters off the ground in this tree. Really pretty little guy. So as a Rhabdophis, he's colubrid, and he's probably mildly venomous, rear-fanged. And he has a cousin that has much stronger venom and is certainly poisonous as well. I'm actually not sure if this species is known to have the poison like the redneck keelback, but sure is a neat snake right here. I'm really excited about this. It's a good night for a survey. It rained earlier today, and looks like it worked out well for us. Got lucky. Also had a mock viper and yeah, some other cool stuff. These guys are typically nocturnal and are known to feed on fish and amphibians. Beautiful little guy. Where he's found is kind of up in the pretty dense dry evergreen forest here at Sakaerat, and he was actually near water at a pond that we have up in the forest, so pretty cool. Good place for keelbacks. Alright, I think we'll let him be on his way. Here's a little juvenile monocled cobra that we found earlier, right here next to the path. And we're just releasing him now after taking some photos of him. Very cute little guy.
Go this way.
It's raining right now. Hopefully my camera's okay.
Yeah, he's hidden.
Yeah.
Close to his breath pile.
Such a cute little snake. And there he goes. Awesome. Alright, here we have another beautiful species here at Sakaerat. This is the big-eyed green pit viper, Trimeresurus macrops. As you can see, it's a pretty large eye there. But this is one of the most commonly seen snakes here, and is certainly the most common of the green pit vipers. We also have Vogels and Albolabrus, but neither of which are seen very commonly. As you can tell, this is a nocturnal species, and it's arboreal, so pretty neat. And they tend to feed on frogs and lizards, possibly small rodents as well, and birds, so really pretty guy. And the tail, which you cannot see at the moment, is a reddish color, whereas the body is green. What a stunning snake. Alright, here we have a really special animal. This is a Malayan crate, Bungarus candidus. It's also called the blue crate. And this is one of the world's most venomous snakes, at least on land. Potentially in like the top 3 for most potent venom for terrestrial snakes. Very dangerous. But at the same time, it's very reluctant to bite and a very shy species.
Just before taking this video, it was, moved with a hook and it started trying to hide its head, doing its defensive mechanism. It's a very shy species. It's completely nocturnal and really only bites people if you handle it, or if, say, you have a bed that's on the floor and it goes into bed with you and you roll over on top of it, something like that. Or, bites do happen, but it's not as common as, like, say, the Malayan pit viper or green pit viper. But when bites do happen, they are more likely to be lethal. So it's a very pretty snake. It's an elapid, of course, so it's related to cobras and coral snakes and mambas. And it also looks very similar to several harmless species that can be found here. There's a few lycodon or wolf snake species that are very similar. There's also, Dryocalamus, and a few others that are banded black and white that look pretty similar. And you do not want to think it's a lycodon, pick it up, and then get bitten by this thing. Especially the juveniles look very similar. This one's fairly small, but not a tiny juvenile. To identify it, there's that head hiding defensive strategy right there. I just moved in closer. See how scary this snake is? He's very, venomous, and yet you move in closer just to take a video and he hides himself. But on the back here, right along the spine, these top dorsal scales, they're enlarged and kind of rectangular. That's the easiest way to tell the difference between the lycodon and Dryocalamus and the Bungaris species. The others will have pretty normal looking, dorsal snake scales. Don't go off of color and pattern because they're somewhat variable. I've seen juveniles with white heads. Most of them have darker colored heads like this individual, but some of them have white heads, and usually they have this black spotting on parts of the scales like this, but not all individuals do. Some of them have, pretty clean white. This species feeds primarily on other snakes, but it's also known to feed on frogs, and in captivity they also take mammals. So probably fairly opportunistic, but they've been mostly documented to feed on other snakes, like some of the other crate species. Whenever these guys do try to bite and strike, rather than just striking forward, they have kind of a side strike motion that they usually rely on, which is interesting. So this species is very secretive, and as I already mentioned, it is nocturnal, but they also, they'll spend the daytime hiding under leaves and brush or in burrows. They're terrestrial and really only come out at night to forage and make movements. And they live here in the dry evergreen forest, which we're at right now. We also see them in the dipterocarp forest and in the agricultural areas and in the village near people. So they are kind of generalists when it comes to habitat, it seems, although they do like to be near water. So they enjoy rice paddies, and the banded crates really love the rice paddies especially. Pretty cool. Alright, now I want to demonstrate how vicious this animal is. As you can see, it's coming at me, and it just really wants to bite. Oh! The last thing the snake wants to do is to have to resort to biting. I mean, look, you put its head out in the open. If I move too much or if I bump it, it just hides its head. It protects it. What a interesting defensive strategy. And it's really cool with the one of the other species that we have here, Bungarus fasciatus. It's got a kind of blunt tail, so it almost, you know, it'll hold the tail up, and it almost looks like it has a little head on the end of its tail. Those guys get really big. They're really cool. The banded crates.
Alright, we'll go ahead and set this one on the ground. It's right there. Let's see if it'll start moving off into the forest. Look at that.
Wow.
Right into the leaves. Only the tip of the tail and small parts of the body are visible right now. That's cool. Here's a really cool tarantula just found on one of the building's walls outside here at the research station. Really pretty. It's got kind of a purplish color to it, if you can see that. Alright, here we have a very beautiful Malayan pit viper, Calloselasma rotostoma. This is a fairly young individual, not very big, and it's kind of got some nice pink tones, but a lot of the ones I've seen around here are, you know, darker colored with stronger pattern. And as you can tell, it's daylight out, at least a little bit right now. Normally this species is not seen, you know, till after dark, as it's nocturnal, but this one was disrupted from its home as some of the Sakaerat staff were cleaning out some vegetation from some overgrown areas right around the buildings, and this guy had made that area his home. So it's kind of sad that he's lost his little cover area, but we'll release him nearby, probably within his home range easily, and I'm sure he'll carry on just fine. But as I said, these are nocturnal. This is a pit viper with quite some nasty hemotoxic venom and is responsible for quite a few bites throughout Thailand and Malaysia. They're known to eat small mammals such as rodents, as well as other reptiles like lizards, amphibians, and even occasional invertebrates such as centipedes. These are one of my favorite snakes that we have here, and they're also one of the most commonly seen species, depending on the time of year. And most often we see them after a light rain when the humidity spikes up, especially in the dry season. They just love that and start moving a lot. Very beautiful snake. Alright, we'll set this guy loose after dark. Here's a lovely green cat snake, Boiga cyanea. This is a rather large adult. There we go. It's about a meter long or so. guy came out and started moving around after we got a little rain earlier today. Beautiful snake. This is a colubrid with elliptical pupils, but it's a mildly venomous rear-fanged snake. Pretty much a harmless snake. Alright, here we have another collared black-headed snake, Sakaerat collaris. This one's found here at Sakaerat, and the other one I've seen was in Vietnam, and honestly I think this one is much prettier looking. There's a nice orange band around the neck on the collar, similar to a ring neck from back home. Very pretty snake. This guy was just moving along the forest floor here in the dry evergreen forest, and we spooked him, and he was moving quite quickly. So very neat little small terrestrial colubrid. They're a harmless species, and I believe they're both diurnal and nocturnal. This is at it's about to get dark in another hour and a half or 2 hours, I think, so maybe a bit crepuscular. So really interesting snake, and we'll just let him go. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and keep your eyes peeled for more to come out of Sakaerat, showing SC set and the work we do and how we're studying king cobras. Also, I'll try to do more videos from the wildlife I see in Thailand, as well as anywhere else in Asia I might be able to travel in the near future. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it, subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.